I think they eat more than the guards do. Their food is better than ours.
You are not with any one of them? No.
Say again, ma'am?
You are not with anyone doing a hunger strike right now?
You're not working with anyone doing the hunger strike right now?
Oh, there are a few
hunger
hunger strikers who are doing it. Not to the extent of what the media says.
Mm-hmm. They try to claim hunger striking. They try to eat when you're not paying attention. That's what they try to get at.
So, as you think, how many will be doing that? I mean, most of them will be eating, even if they say they don't, or?
I don't know an exact percentage of. That's a little bit above us to annotate the numbers and stuff. I know their meals are provided to them. They get a plethora of food, plus their additional snacks. Depending on their DIS level, they can keep a certain amount of food in their cell with them on a daily basis, so they can eat throughout the day. And we check on them constantly. We're always, checking 1 and 3 minute checks for their safety. So depending on whether they eat or not, when we don't walk by, that's up to them.
How long have you been here? How long have you been here already? I mean, you see they are more hostiles now than before?
I've been here since November 10th, and when I got here there was very few in our camp, and it's only grown since then. It's become more busy. I wouldn't say hostile, but it's definitely more active than what it was.
Which are the kinds of things they do, I guess, when they do something?
Like a lot of them want to go to like the med space, see the nurse, and you tell them, no, it's not your time, it's not your appointment. So they'll try to fake a health problem to get a code to get them. So we would have to bring them there to check that they're okay.
Why do they want to do that? Break up the monotony or something?
I don't know, just if they could disturb our operations to make our day harder, I think is what their main goal is. Because a lot of them still think they're fighting the fight, and they do what they can.
Right.
And when you try to, I don't know if you take them from here to different places, usually they complain or they cooperate or they feel like, which
Like,
one?
you mean like their
appointments?
movement for?
Yeah.
Most of them, they usually comply, or they refuse right there. Usually they don't have trouble in the middle of the appointment, but it does happen from time to time.
It's when they want to leave the appointment.
Yeah.
It's when they don't want to go
They don't
back.
want
They're
to-
they'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
Phone call, Skype, medical. They're
Whatever.
happy. They want to
Yeah.
know every 10 minutes. They say, check my appointment, check the
Yeah.
appointment roster.
Yep.
When it's time to come back, they would rather stay in the med space than they would.
Do you get into any conversation with them? Let's say you are here for nearly 8 months, something like that. Do you know to get anyone more closely, like you talk? Or
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily have a conversation with you, but some of them insist on telling you stuff that whether you want to hear it or not, and they'll talk, and you'll just be roving, and you'll still hear it.
Right.
But you don't really stand there converse hours on end or nothing. No.
But because for them it's so many hours, but for you it's also so many hours there. So maybe sometimes you feel like you are a little bit with your guard down. Let's say like you are human, they are human, and then you are talking. Things happens, or no? You keep on focused on doing.
No, you keep focusing on what you're supposed to be doing. You shouldn't stop and talk to them. That's not the way to go. No.
There's a difference between rapport building and then blatant conversation for hours at a time. Rapport goes both ways. They know that we're there for our job. They know we're not there to punish them. We're just there for make the day smooth for both us and them. Less controversy. We'll say the one thing that's been going on lately bad is the splashings of guards with feces and urine, spit, etc. That's been very rampant lately with amongst the guards. So something that we wear a lot of painter suits, or we call them the poop suits that we wear to protect our uniforms, our face, skin, all that sort of stuff from the splashings. That's their way of retaliating against us. Is that so?
When was the last time you saw that? The last thing that happened?
It's usually daily.
Daily.
It's usually
But you say
daily.
that it's less. Before it was like.
Oh, it's more now.
It's more.
It's more now. Yeah, I got here October 5th. Very few to none. I think I went my first 4 or 5 months with 0. These last 2-3 months, oh shoot, a lot. Close to 100, I would even say.
Why do you think is that?
Stress levels changes.
Change. They don't like change.
They don't like change. Every couple months, there's a shift change. You know, they're switching faces, and Cuba is a consistent rotation of guard force. So over the couple of years that they've been here, they've seen thousands of military police, you know, and getting used to each face. They don't like it.
And for you, which one would be the most difficult or most setting part of the job you do every day?
For me personally, being an NCO with soldiers is probably the work week, the length of hours that are worked of the course of a day. The course of a day is you're up at 04 in the morning and you're not home until 1900. So it is a long work week, you know. We try to keep the soldiers' morale high with as much stuff as we can. But our 1 year here in Gitmo is dedicated to the facility and detainee operations. So
Did you come in? Did they train you for that? I mean, was it what you expected, or the worst? Or?
absolutely, we have to train up pre-service. The battalion holds a pre-service class directly. We come from Fort Leavenworth, which is prisoner, civilian, or not civilian, but military corrections. So this is our first experience with detainee operations, and there was a lot of train up.
Was it harder? Same? Did they?
To
Did it
change
meet
your
your
pace.
expectations? I guess.
Completely different. It's really, OJTing is good, but until you're in the facility, day-to-day operations, nothing can beat lifelike experiences of actually. And I think everybody can get a standard, excuse me, but it's up to yourself to actually perform how you're going to perform. We don't perform the same. I wouldn't expect us to. You know, we have our there's the standard that we all perform to, but we each have our own little what you would say, not quirks, but personalities of how we deal with stuff. You know, IPC skills is huge. I would say that's probably one of our biggest things is IPC skills, interpersonal communication skills, how we interact with each other, how we interact with detainees. Detainees' life can be affected if me and Private Lindsay or Specialist Lindsay are having a fight or we're irritated with each other. Well, that affects the entire tier, potentially the entire facility. Detainees don't know why that me and him are fighting, you know, so really our attitudes on a daily basis can affect just a tier alone.
And you're always together? It's always the same pair, or you're
Different rotation, ma'am.
Many rotation. But they'll sense things like that, an irritation between you two, and they'll use that throughout the day if they can, the best way they can.
How many of you how many of the group are women? I mean, because I guess, how many women are guards here?
Very few.
Very few. I say
10 a company maybe.
Because it must be maybe a little bit harder for them with the prisoners because of their religion thing, so they don't want to be treated by women, or.
I really couldn't speak for them.
But you got colleagues like in the same.
I won't speak for the women, but from what I can see on the tier is there are some detainees who don't let women have any interaction with them, no restraining, won't let them walk past the tier. They walk past, they'll cover up their cell, they'll cover up the windows. If they hear the sound of a voice, the big thing during prayer, if they hear any type of female voice, it causes a disturbance of any level based on that. So there's some women or some tiers, detainees that we have to not schedule females to work that block based on avoiding a situation. So I would say it's harder for them. I've seen females be splashed just based on that they're female.
Is any one female working right now, or not?
I don't believe so, ma'am.